Hello dear students, as you all know we have done chapter number 6 but it has been completed theoretically only. Numericals are still there. I am giving you one day time, just solve NCERT question, give it a try. If in any question if you face problem, let me know. We'll discuss the numerical. I'll make a separate video on the numericals only. Today we are going to start chapter number 7. This is the alternating current. But before I begin, let me tell you, if you have not understood the concepts of electromagnetic induction, then you will not be able to understand this chapter. Okay? What we have done actually, what is the thing which is very much required? Let me give a quick reason. What we have learned in electromagnetic induction, you have been told that whenever the magnetic flux phi b, and phi b is given by B A cos theta. What is B? Magnetic field. A, area of the closed circuit or closed coil, and theta is the angle between area vector and the magnetic field. So whenever the magnetic flux linked with a closed circuit changes, an EMF is induced, and that EMF is given by minus d phi b by dt. What that minus sign signifies? That minus sign signifies that the direction of induced EMF or the direction of current is in such a way that it opposes the change in magnetic flux. Change in magnetic flux, that is the d phi b. Now let me give you a situation. Suppose there is a particular space, and in that space magnetic field lines are represented as I am doing. Okay, cross. And the meaning of this cross, I hope you are getting, the direction of magnetic field is inside, perpendicular inside. Suppose a circular coil is kept in that magnetic field. Okay? And if it is kept only, there will be no induction because there is no change in magnetic flux. Now I am giving you a case in which this coil is rotated. This coil is rotated. If it is like this, if its plane is like this, so it is rotating like this. Okay? So if it's plane like this, so area vector will be in this direction. Magnetic field is in this direction. If it is kept like this, the angle between area vector and the magnetic field is 180 degree. But if it is rotated, just see this chalk, this denotes the direction of area vector. If this coil is rotated, magnetic field is inside. If this coil is rotated, then the angle between the magnetic field and area vector starts changing. If it is rotated with an angular velocity omega, then omega is given by what? Angular displacement upon time, and from here the value of theta comes out to be omega into t. Okay? So let us put the theta omega into t and let us solve for the induced EMF. We are going to have E is equal to minus d by dt into Ba cos, in place of theta I am writing omega t. Now B and A, they are not changing, they are constant. So we are going to have minus B into A, d by dt of cos omega t. Differentiation of cos omega t, being the student of class 12, you must know the differentiation of cos theta is minus sin theta. So E is going to be this minus sin theta adjusted. We are going to have B A sin omega t, and this omega t will again be differentiated. So we are going to have an omega also, and that omega will be there. Okay? So we are going to have Ba omega sin omega t. If the coil is of n turns, if the coil is of capital N turns, then what we are going to have? We are going to have E is equal to N B A omega sin omega t. So this is the EMF induced in the coil. This is the EMF induced in the coil. Let us understand about the current. If coil has R resistance, then current will be equal to EMF upon resistance. And here we are going to have MBA omega sin omega t upon R. Okay? So this is the formula for current. I hope it is clear. Now let me remove the diagram because there are some important things. Now suppose if that omega t, if omega t is equal to pi by 2, okay, if omega t is pi by 2, then in that case we are going to have E maximum. Then in that case E will be equal to what? E maximum, and it is denoted by E naught. Okay, so E is going to be in that case, this sin omega t is 1, so we are going to have NBA omega. For sin pi by 2 it is maximum, so here we are going to have maximum value. So this E maximum, this particular value is assigned by E naught. Okay. Similarly, for current also, I is equal to NBA omega upon capital R. This sin 90, it will become 1. So this is the maximum value of current and it is denoted by I naught. This is the maximum value of current. So if we put these values over here, then we are going to have, then E is equal to E naught sin omega t and I is equal to what? I naught sin omega t. So this E naught and I naught, they are called peak EMF and peak current respectively, right? So finally we have an equation for EMF, and that equation is E is equal to E naught sin omega t, and for current we have I is equal to I naught sin omega t. Okay, this is a different kind of EMF which we have been studying in so many chapters. EMF starts right from the chapter number 3 till the last chapter it was there. So it is different kind of EMF. Why is it so? Because this EMF is the function of sine. Current is the function of sine. So it is something different. It is not we have studied in chapter number 6. It is not there in the chapter number 3. There it was all about direct current. The direction of current is always in the same direction. But if the EMF is if the EMF is a function of sine, then obviously that EMF for a particular half cycle it is going to be positive, and then for a particular half cycle it is going to be negative. Why is it so? Because when we draw the graph of sine theta, the graph of sine theta is like this. So for this particular cycle, this is your first half cycle, this is your second half cycle. So for the first half cycle, the EMF comes out to be positive, but the second half cycle, the EMF comes out to be negative. From here till here, it is one complete cycle. From here till here, it is one complete cycle. For half of the cycle, EMF is positive, if you can say, and for half of the cycle, EMF is negative. So basically, this EMF changes its direction after every half cycle. After every half cycle, this EMF as well as this current, they changes their direction after particular half cycle, and that's why they are called alternate EMF. Alternate EMF, and this is called alternate current. Now let us try to understand the graphical presentation of alternate EMF and alternate current. Okay, so from last discussion what we had EMF is equal to E naught sin omega t and I is equal to I naught sin omega t. Here E naught is equal to NBA omega and I naught is equal to NBA omega upon capital R. Okay, this is all we have got from the last discussion which we had few moments before. Now let us try to understand this EMF, because I have told you that this EMF is called alternating EMF. Let us try to plot a graph of alternating EMF according to this equation. Okay, on the x-axis I am taking omega t, on the y-axis I am taking EMF, right? So basically it is a function of sin omega t. So we are going to have a graph of sin theta, and the graph is going like this. Okay. So this is the value at 0. This at pi by 2. Here we have pi. Here we have 3 pi by 2. Here we are going to have 2 pi. And similarly it goes on. This particular point corresponds to maximum value of EMF E0, and here it also the maximum value, but obviously it is in opposite direction, so it is minus E. Right? Same goes with the current also. For the current, the graph is going to be same because it is also the function of sin theta only. Here we are going to have omega t. Here we are going to have pi. So this is 0. This is what? It is pi by 2. This is what? It is pi. This is what? It is 3 pi by 2. And this is what? 2 pi. This value corresponds to maximum current, which is I0. And this corresponds to minimum, not minimum exactly, minus I0, because the direction of current is else. Now let us try to understand how this circuit works. Suppose this is a resistance and we have a source which is called AC source. Okay? So it supplies what? It supplies alternating current. So what is the meaning of this particular part of the graph? Suppose for the first half cycle, this ends behaves as positive, this ends behaves as negative. So for first half cycle, the direction of current is this way. And this current does not remain constant. It keeps on changing. As you can see from the graph, from here till here the current is increasing. Then after it decreases. From here till here the current increases, then after it decreases, right? And then for the second half cycle, let me make the circuit again. Here is the AC source. So for the second half cycle, as you can see, the direction of current goes negative. So what does it mean? Current is not a vector quantity, so it cannot be negative. But here the graph is showing that current is going negative. It simply means that current changes its direction. Now this time, in the second half cycle, this end behaves as a positive, this end behaves as a negative. So current goes from here. And again the value of current increases. The value of this particular graph is not showing that current is decreasing. It shows that the direction of current changes, but again the current is increasing to this particular value, which is minus I0. And then after again it comes to 0. Then we start from here. Then again this happens, then this happens, then this happens. So this is how the current flows in the circuit. This is how the current flows in the circuit. So from here we define alternating current. How we define? What we say? We say that so alternating current is defined as what? What we say? We say that an alternating current is the one which changes its direction periodically. Okay. So this is how we define alternating current, right? So this is the definition, this is the graphical representation, and this is how the circuit works in alternating current. Now let me give you some important integration in this chapter, which we are going to use very frequently. Some important formulas which we are going to use in this chapter very frequently. Okay, so let us try to do so. Am I erasing all this? Some important formulas which we are going to use in this chapter. first important replacement, the first formula, important formula. Okay. The first one is time period and angular velocity. Angular velocity omega, or it is called angular frequency also. Omega is equal to what? 2 pi by capital T, right? From here, T can also be written as 2 pi by omega. In terms of frequency, if T is equal to 2 pi by omega, then frequency is what? Omega upon 2 pi. From here, omega can also be replaced as 2 pi into frequency. Okay? Third one is integration. Integration of sin omega t dt. What is integration of sin omega t dt? What is the integration of sin? The integration of sin is minus cos omega t. And in differentiation, what happens if this omega t is there, and in suppose if you differentiate sin omega t, then you are going to have cos omega t, then omega t again differentiated, omega will be in the multiplication. But integration, what happens? It comes in the division, right? Just remember like this: in integration, omega comes in multiplication. In division, in differentiation, omega comes into multiplication. But in integration, whatever is multiplied with t over here, whatever it should be, it can be 2 pi, it can be 5 pi, it can be anything. Those all things will be in the division only. Okay. Fourth one, integration of cos omega t dt. What is the integration of cos omega t? It is sin omega t. And since again omega is multiplied with t, so it is there in the division. Right? Fifth one, suppose the sin omega t is integrated over its complete time period. Over its complete time period. Let us solve it mathematically, then after we will solve it graphically also. What is sin omega t? Integration of sin omega t? As I have told you, minus cos omega t upon omega. So minus cos omega t upon omega, limit 0 to t. This upon omega has nothing to do with limits, minus sign also. So minus 1 upon omega. In bracket, upper limit, cos omega capital T minus cos 0. Now, minus 1 upon omega. What is omega? Omega is 2 pi by capital T. So cos 2 pi by capital T into T minus what is value of cos 0? It is 1. So T and T cancelled out. Cos 2 pi again it is going to be 1 only. 1 minus 1 what is what? It is going to be 0. So integration of 0 to t sin omega t dt is 0. Okay, you can solve it graphically also. What is the graph of sin theta? The graph of sin theta is like this. And when you integrate it over a complete time period, when you are integrating, you are adding the values from here till here. So these are the positive values, and when they are added, these values which are already negative, then they are going to have 0. In the same manner, similarly, this time I am going to prove. You have to understand cos omega t dt. Integration 0 to t. T is what? T is time period. What we are going to have? 0. Okay? We are going to have 0 because it is integrated over complete time period. Whatever we have, sin theta, it can be 2 pi t, it can be 4 pi t, it can be 2 omega t, 4 omega t, whatever. If it is integrated over a time period, sin and cos, the answer is always 0. This 6 formulas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want to be very accurate, very speedy, I must say in this chapter, these 6 formulas you must understand. This should be on the tip of your tongue, not in brain also. Okay? So I hope you remember these formulas, and let us try to understand now about average value of alternating current. Since it is varying continuously, so there should be one particular value which can be taken as the value which we take reference of. Like suppose if you have heard of, that we used to say that in India the domestic supply is 220 voltage. So what is that 220 voltage? What is that 220 voltage? It is a particular value. How that comes, we will discuss later on. But as you can see that alternating EMF is varying continuously. Then when it goes to be, when it is going to be 220 voltage, we don't know. Okay. So first of all, let us understand average value. Average value. It is also called mean value. I am doing it for alternating current. You have to do it for EMF. Okay, the procedure is same. It is calculated in two cases. The first one is over complete cycle. Over complete cycle. How this average value or mean value of alternating current is defined, let us see. So how we define it? Let me give you the definition first of all, then after I explain it. So over a complete cycle, it is defined as it is that value of steady current, or in other words, it is also called direct current. Direct current. Direct current, which sends same amount of charge, in the same time interval. And here the time interval is what? Here the time interval is capital T. So over average value of mean value of AC alternating current over one complete cycle is that value of value of steady current or the direct current which sends the same amount of charge in the same time interval. And in this definition, since we are defining it for over complete cycle, so that time interval is what? Capital T. Let us try to analyze this statement mathematically. What do I mean actually? Suppose there is a value of direct current. Suppose we are talking about first of all AC current, is that alternating current. For alternating current, we can write I is equal to what? dQ by dt. From here, the value of dQ comes out to be what? I dt. So what is the amount of charge that alternating current sends in one complete time period? So for that, let us integrate it. For one cycle, what we are going to have? dQ integrated, suppose from 0 to q. Integration I dt, and the value of I varies from, the value of t varies from 0 to t. Let us put the value of I over here. What we are going to have? 0 to t. The I is what? I naught sin omega t dt. I naught comes out of integration. Here that dt is integrated, we are going to have q only. And here I naught comes out of integration. And we are going to have 0 to t sin omega t dt. Now if you remember just few moments before I have told you, whenever a sine or cos integrated over complete cycle, the answer is 0. So what we are going to have? 0. So the total charge the alternating current sends over one complete cycle is 0. Okay, this is the charge sent by the alternating current. So that value of charge should be sent by a direct current or a steady current. So for direct current, for which we have defined this one, for which we have defined this average value. So what we are going to say? I average is equal to this amount of charge over this time interval, capital T. So Q upon capital T. But here that Q is 0. So I average over one complete cycle comes out to be what? 0. And this can be understood by the graph also. We should not integrate. But since it is the beginning of the chapter, that's why I have told you the integration. The graph is like this. If you are going to integrate for one complete cycle, then obviously the integration of current over one complete cycle is 0. That's why the average over one complete cycle is 0. Because we have two approaches, one from integration, one from the graph. Do whatever you like. Okay. So for one complete cycle, we are unable to define the average value of current, and that's why we are going to define it for half cycle. So case number 2 is over half cycle. Okay. So how it is defined? It is the 2. It is that value of steady current or direct current which sends the same amount of charge over the same time period, and here the time period is going to be T by 2. So I need to make certain changes. So it is going to be T by 2 now. It is going to be T by 2 now. And here that integration cannot be 0. Obviously, it is not integrated over complete cycle. So what we are going to have here? So we are going to have Q naught is equal to I naught. The integration of sin omega t, as I have told you, it is cos omega t upon omega. Omega I have written outside, 0 to T by 2. Now let us put the values for it. So we are going to have Q is equal to I naught by omega. When we put the limit, and I am doing two things together, cos 2 pi by capital T in place of omega into T by 2 minus cos 0. Here the T and T will be considered, 2 and 2 will be considered, it will become cos pi, it is 180 degree. And since cos 180 degree is what? Minus 1. One more thing, the integration of sin omega t is minus cos omega t, so here I am putting a minus sign. So minus. Here it is going to be what? Minus I naught by omega. It is cos phi, which is minus 1, cos 0, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, it becomes minus 2. And again one minus is there, it will become 2 I naught upon omega. And in place of omega, we can write 2 pi by capital T. So 2 and 2 will be cancelled out, T goes in the numerator. We are going to have T upon pi into I naught. So this is the value of what? This is the value of Q. And now, as per the definition, I average over half cycle is given by the charge upon time period. Okay? So 2 goes in the numerator, we are going to have 2 upon T multiplied by T upon pi. This is the value of Q. So we are going to T upon pi into I naught. So T and T cancelled out. They are going to have I average is equal to what? 2 upon pi into I naught. So this is the value of average alternating current over half cycle. Okay? If we solve it, we get 0.66 something. I don't remember actually. So I average is equal to 2 upon pi I naught. Okay? In the next video lecture, we will talk about RMS value, which is the most important one of this chapter. So let us do it in the next video lecture. This is all for the day. Thank you.